Shalom. And I want to start off bringing all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the head apostles, and elders, the great millstone. And salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening, pushing forward this word, truth, and sincerity. And your few Akhwat as well, that's listening with sincerity. I'm the brother Machaya from the camp, GMS Montreal, coming back with another lesson. And fishers turn into hunters will be in the kingdom. Okay? The part in prophecy where it speaks about us exacting vengeance upon our enemies, that's going to be fulfilled in the kingdom. All right? Because we know on this side, vengeance belongeth unto the Lord. Okay? It doesn't belong to us. Right? Matter of fact, let's get Zephaniah 3 and 8. Because it says it. Okay? So, this is the book of Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey." So we have to wait upon the Lord for him to rise up upon the prey, not us, man. Because even when it comes to when we receive spiritual power, okay, it's not going to be for the purpose of exacting judgment. Okay, it's going to be for the purpose of healing, helping, okay, to more uplift the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man, for it to become even more famous. All right, which of course is going to be certain things where it's going to be self-defense, because it speaks about in Isaiah 59 and 19, the enemy coming like a flood and the Lord raising up a standard. Yeah, certain things will happen where it's self-defense. The troops are coming after you and the Lord might make you disappear, or, you know, you might do a maneuver and then they get hurt, whatever. But it's not going to be for like your glory, okay? Yeah, it's not going to be for your glory or for you to be going out there and just chopping Edomites' head off and heathens that pissed you off in the world. A boss that you had that was an asshole. Here it is, we get the spiritual power, you know where he lives, you go to his house and punish him. No. Okay, all these things are going to happen in the kingdom, man. Okay, that's when we're going to get our vengeance. All right, so continuing on, it says, "For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured in the fire of my jealousy." You see, so the Lord's determination is to gather the nations. That's another reason why World War III is being brewed up. Okay? Because he has a controversy with these heathens, man. Especially E. Alright, so vengeance belongeth unto the Lord. Okay, I had to just make that point first. Okay? Because, once again, the fishers turn into hunters, which we're going to read in Jeremiah 16. It's going to be in the kingdom, man. Because right now we're in the period of fishing, man. The hunting season is going to be once we get those new bodies. Alright? Then we come back on earth to establish righteousness. There's going to have to be examples, okay, of people that disobey. And they're going to have to be deleted publicly for the rest to get in line. You know what I mean? Which, right, we're looking forward to that, man. We're looking forward to the power, man, the new bodies. Okay? Being Superman on earth. All right? Well, actually, way more than Superman. Because Superman had a weakness, kryptonite. Right? We're not going to have no weakness. Okay? Because the law is going to be within us. Okay, right now, our kryptonite is sin. Because of this flesh, you know, we're subject to it. But once we're changing those new bodies, man, no more kryptonite. You know what I mean? So this is Jeremiah 16 and verse 16. It says, "Behold, I will send for fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them." Right, and currently we are the fishers, man. Damn, shit is mad loud, bro. But yeah, currently we are the fishers. You know, fishing what? For the elect. All right? You know, doing these lessons in the highways and hedges. You know what I'm saying? That's how, hey, we're fishing. Okay, whoever grabs on the hook, hey, that's it, we caught a fish. It says, "And then after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks." You see that? So after the period of fishing, then that's when it's gonna be hunting season. Okay, going to dig out these elites from the holes that they're hiding in, man. Their underground bunkers, underwater retreats, the space bunkers they have, whatever, the space retreats. We're gonna get them, man. Right? Like it says in Amos, though you make your go in Carmel or whatever, the rocks. Hey, dance with my hand, fetch them. And then we're gonna be extensions of the Lord's hand in that day. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get that in Amos, man. Is it Amos or Micah? I feel like it's Micah. Let me see. No, let me type it. I know it's either Amos. I feel like I have a strong feeling it's Amos. Bear with me. All right, it's 9 and 3. So this is Amos 9 and verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell representing the grave or underground, thence shall mine hand take them. Yeah, and I said in that day we're going to be extensions of the Lord's arm, man. Okay? Just like Yahushua is the right hand of the Lord, hey, we're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua. We're going to be extensions of his hand. So yeah, we're gonna get them, man. You know what I'm saying? Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Yeah. Though they're going to space, outer space retreats, hey, that's the Lord's domain, space, man. You can't hide from the Lord in space. Hey, we're gonna get you in there too. You see? So there's nowhere for this guy to go hide and escape judgment. Okay? Because we're gonna come down, man. We're gonna come down in those new bodies. It's gonna be hunting season, man. You know how Esau be having his hunting? He be hunting Jake. You know, just for sport, right? These top elites, they're into that shit, man. Some Squid Games type shit. You know, they kidnap some few Jakes, they put them in a gated forest that they have, then they go hunting, right? But hey, you guys will be hunted very soon, man. Once again, in the kingdom. Not here, not on this side. It could be in the kingdom, okay? Because once again, like we read, vengeance belongs to the Lord, man. We ain't got no strength over our hands. You know, to go out and try to fight Esau. And even when we have the spiritual power, it's not time for that, man. When Yahushua was on the scene 2,000 years ago with the spiritual power, was he taking down the Roman Empire? No. He was sent to minister, okay? He was sent to gather those that the Heavenly Father gave him. But when he comes back, dude, that's another story, okay? He's coming like a lion. He said he's not going to meet thee as a man. Then it's going to be for the purpose of judgment and heads getting chopped off, man. Okay? So this is Psalms 149 and verse 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing out loud upon their beds. Who are the saints? The Israelites. Okay, we're the saints. All right? Saint being representing separated. Okay? Holy. And we're the ones that the Lord has chosen to be separate, holy unto him. Okay? There's another precept in Psalms that says, gather my saints together, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And we are those ones. Okay? That made a covenant with the Lord via sacrifice. No other nation did that. All right? Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hands. Why are we going to have a two-edged sword? It's going to read on. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. That's why the two-edged sword is going to be for, to exact vengeance and judgments. Okay? Scripture say why? It's a righteous thing with the Lord to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you or that trouble us. So naturally, we're going to get our lick back, man. You know? And brothers are keeping spiritual tabs on certain heathens, certain Edomites that did us dirty, man. Hey, shit. We have it up there in the brain, bro. I'm going to remember this fucking faggot. I'm going to remember this guy in the kingdom, man. You know? But, yeah, it's going to be for the purpose of judgment and vengeance. All right? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron. Yeah, man, that's going to be E's new drip. Okay? The so-called nobles of this world, they start banking families that nobody barely knows of. Well, now people are becoming more hip. They're becoming more educated of who's really running the world. You know, via the prophets putting forth that vibration out there pointing the finger and showing people who runs the world. Now more and more people are finding out. They stop making families. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, they're the one that's running the world, man. Okay? It's becoming more and more common knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So these are the so-called nobles of this world. I'm saying so-called because they ain't. They ain't no nobility, man. They're servants. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They're servants, man. Peasants. Just peasants that's been raised up to go and rule the earth, which is not right. It's an error. Okay? So we're going to bind them with feathers, man, with chains. They're a new drip, man, just like they did to us. We're going to do it to them in the righteous way. To execute to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. You see? That's the honor that we have, man. Okay? It's an honor. It honors me. It gladdens my heart to bestow upon you this newly made, fabricated from, you know what I'm saying? From the furnace of adversity, okay? This nice, peculiar feather of iron to bestow it upon your neck and your feet and your hands. It gladdens my heart. Okay? We're gonna rejoice in that, man. All right? Because we have suffered so long under the rulership of Esau Edom, man, under these heathens, man. So it's gonna be glorious in that day, bro. Okay? Glorious. Because all these things, once again, the hunters, because once again, the Lord's gonna put his wrath within us, eh? So we're gonna exact the perfectly calculated judgment upon them. Okay? Because it speaks about that in Ezekiel 25. Which we're gonna read. Ezekiel 25. Because right now on this side, we're not angry enough, man. Even if, when we get the spiritual power, let's say if you were to go and try to exact judgment, it's not going to be the right amount. It's not going to be right. Because there's certain things that he did in our past lives, or things that he did now in the darkness that we don't know of. You know what I'm saying? We're not angry enough. But in the kingdom, we will be. We will be. In those new bodies. Okay? We will be. This is Ezekiel 25 and verse 12. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended." See, this nigga greatly offended. And these heathens too. They have greatly offended. Okay? And revenge himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and make it desolate from Teman, and they shall fall by the sword. Right. This is the point here. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel. You see? So the Lord's going to exact judgment upon Esau, Edom being the so-called white men today. They're descendants of Edom. Okay? And these heathens too, by the hand of his people, Israel. Okay? Fishers turn into hunters. Okay? First and foremost, the elect's going to get that glory. And, hey, the rest of the Israelites, hey, we're going to be on top. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Even 2/3 are going to get their lick back. You know? Because we're going to be sovereign. Even 2/3 are going to have slaves of heathens and Edomites, man. You know? So vengeance will be exacted by the hand of the Lord's people. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord's power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. You see? So all that vengeance, the judgment, is going to be according to the Lord's fury and anger. Like I stated, we're not angry enough to exact judgment. You know? If we were to go and pursue judgment, it would be like a baby slapping a grown man. You know? Esau's barely gonna feel it. But hey, with that anger of the Lord, man, it's gonna be right and just a perfect judgment, bruv. Okay? New bodies and there's gonna be it's gonna be diff, bro. Okay? You know? So, whenever we speak about the things of judgment and spiritual power, taking down our enemies, all these things are for the kingdom, man. Because we have to, especially in this day and age, when Esau, he hears one thing and say, "Oh, look at these guys. They're promoting hate and killing people, this, that." That's why we was clarifying, saying, in the kingdom. Okay, because trust me, Esau's slimy and crafty, He will take certain things and put it out of turn. You know what I'm saying? So right now, man, we're just waiting upon the Lord, man. We're waiting upon the Lord, like we read in Zephaniah 3 and 8. And once the word comes back, man, hey, you know what it is. You know how it's going to be like. We're going to get down, man. Okay? But anyways, man, I'm going to close it off there. Making all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Kodash.